What job do you have and do you enjoy it? I guess you don't really need to say where, but I guess sector and your opinion of it.
Oh, I work. Can we say what type of job?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I
of
mean, you can say
retail.
everything if you want, but like I just didn't know if you wanted to like,
So like I work in retail,
yeah, retail.
duty manager. Do I like it? No. Does anyone ever goes, oh, I love my job? It's like every time I walk in the door, it's like, okay, what's gone wrong today before I
Oh,
start? That's the bit. Okay, before I walk through the door, it's like, got to do my store walk, and then be told, okay, what hasn't been done. Not telling me what needs to be done. I need you to tell me what hasn't been done because I know what needs to be done. So I need to be told what hasn't been done. And I swear, there's never been a day where I haven't gone in where it's like there's something wrong. I'm like, oh, great. What is it now? Oh, great. It's like I don't know. It's just unpleasing sometimes. The
yeah, I
money's
can.
great, and you do 9 hour shifts and that. It's like you
Yeah,
get 3 days off a week, but it's like at the same time, it's just like it's not the best working in retail because you still get a load of abuse from customers, crackheads, homeless people, and it's just like it's just when you're a duty manager, you have to deal with it all, and you get like there's always something every single night you have to deal with because you're the duty manager. It's like, oh, we can't help you because that's not a cash machine outside. We just leased the building. Or if your car's not working, you have to go see your bank. Oh, you want a refund? Well, if you don't have a receipt, I can't give you the refund because we need to prove you got it here. It's like, oh, you said me yesterday. I wasn't in yesterday. So yeah, retail is like it's stressful, especially in this day and age. It's like I wouldn't really recommend it to people because it's not worth the hassle, and it's why I'm trying to look for elsewhere. So like, if I
mm.
get my job at HMV, I'll be proud to say, yeah, I'll work at HMV.
Yeah, see, because it's like a different, not echelon, because that sounds elitist, but I guess it just seems like a different vibe of retail, to be at like I guess a named luxury brand versus a named essentials brand, because it's one of those funny things. Like obviously, in terms of to answer the question. I'm interviewing for like call center stuff, which isn't my dream, but it pays decently and it's relatively easy. Like I know people, like I've seen people say, "Oh, I'd rather do, a million shifts in retail than one shift on a call center." But actually, I found every call center position I've ever had to be shockingly easy. To a boring degree, maybe I'm just good at it, but to me it's shockingly easy, but it kind of mind numbing.
Let me read my script to you, ma'am.
Yeah, like
I'm
good
sorry.
afternoon, JB and
Please hold while I
JB and
pass you on to
Milly
my
speaking.
supervisor. Just hold him
Du-du-du.
randomly and play some solitaire game on the paper.
Like the worst part is
That's
all the
been five
systems.
minutes.
Like
Hello,
I
ma'am. Thank you for holding.
like I think it could be streamlined a lot easier because the way it is, you have to have like five things open, you have to update them all in a certain time, but that's kind of like that's difficult for your first 2 weeks, your first week. But beyond that, it's just like clockwork. And actually, I think I've kind of almost seen a good, like the other side of what is considered a white privilege because a lot of people that I worked at in call centers were Indian and had Indian accents, and they got so much abuse on the phones. Whereas I only ever had one angry customer in my whole time of call center, and I think it is my voice, the fact that I can speak, they understand me, and I'm almost white passing on the phone. I don't know if I'm reading too much into that, but I think that's possibly why I'm almost privileged at a call center to have the voice that I do. So I find it just ridiculously easy.
See, I always hate talking on the phone because I don't know if it's because of my phone or my hearing. Is that I swear to God, I can never hear the person at the end if they either talk too softly or they don't talk at all. And I was thinking, can you just speak up? Like shout to me like you're being attacked, then I
That's
can
a
hear you. It's like
but
at work.
liquor, our
It's like
prices have never been lower.
like at work before. We've got the radios and that, and I literally said like, if you're gonna use the radio, speak up. Because oh, I'll try and speak up, and I literally speak up. Like, imagine you're being chased by someone and you want to call for help. You're gonna talk softly or talk loudly? You're gonna talk loudly. Use that voice.
See, that's the thing though, because I almost feel like for the whole of this year, the one thing I've been missing though is my retail position. And as you say, it's a little bit, I don't want to say where now, because obviously of the things that I've, but it was HMV adjacent. I'll say toy shop. Because here's the weird thing. I feel like I got in such a rut over lockdown, getting used to doing remote work, work from home stuff, to the point where I almost self-isolated myself even beyond the lockdowns. And this channel, like the podcast, the interviews, I almost started to treat that like my full-time job, which does involve speaking, but I guess it is just a little bit of a different vibe when you're speaking to strangers face to face. And I hated my first couple of shifts at the toy shop, but then as it went on, I found myself really liking the person that I was becoming, being confident to upsell things to strangers, to be confident to push certain items, and even having conversations with people there about things that I thought would annoy anyone else. Like I had a great conversation with a customer about John Williams composing, and that to me was just incredible. And because it was only a temporary contract, when that ended, I just felt like I was going back, and that factors into some of the stuff I was saying about the interviews on the channel. Like, I associated that with before, and now I was getting out into the world, speaking to people, and I just felt like I was going back. Like, I'd started to like myself that much at the toy shop that when it came back to doing, like, recordings, like interviews and stuff, I just felt like this is great, but it's not what I wanted to do all the time. And obviously, I wanted to make friends at the toy shop. There was definitely a few people that I wanted to make friends with, but that didn't work out. And that did affect me throughout the whole year. I think it still does in a way, but obviously, I'm moving past it a little bit. But it was just weird, that whole situation, because I was always told while I was there that there was a culture of if there's a vacancy, the people that were there seasonally was to almost get the first pick of the litter. But I know that there was a lot of staff changes, so I don't hold anything against that. I think honestly, if you look at my CV, it's a bloody miracle that I even got into that seasonal position. Like I must have just been the only person to apply. But yeah, I did love that. I kind of do want to go back if there's ever an opportunity to, but yeah, I guess that's the other side of retail, isn't it, really? You still get abuse, you still get sticky customers,
Oh, you're
but it's
always
not
gonna
like
get
you have to
customers
ID
abusing
check
you.
someone all the time.
Oh, it's when they. I always hate it when they argue at the ID check, and it's like, oh, why do you need my ID? Because it's Challenge 25. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
over
one thing
18.
I don't want to do. Like
Right, I
retail
said it's
for
Challenge
limited
25. I
stuff.
couldn't care if you say you're over 18. It's called Challenge 25 for
Yeah,
a
if you
reason.
don't look
You don't look,
25,
yeah.
like even I get ID'd now
I'm like,
sometimes.
no ID, no sale. And they're like, oh, okay, well, I'll get him to pay for it. Well, I can't serve him because it's a proxy sale. It's like, oh, that's ridiculous. Well, I'll just leave then. I'm thinking, I still can't serve him. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna report this. What? Report me for doing my job. That's thanks.
It's a thankless task, and I guess maybe you could get that in HMV as well. Like, do you have to challenge 25 someone for buying like an 18 rated horror
Yeah.
movie? I imagine that. The only thing we had to do at the toy store was there was a gun, like a Nerf gun, but it shot like pellets out, like gel pellets, I think, that you had to challenge someone. Like you couldn't reinforce it as such, but you definitely had to ask if like parents or guardians needed permission. It's weird though. When I think about work, I just want to be in it to make friends. And that factors into like the next question, which I think is an interesting one. Maybe you've got a different mindset to this, but it's are you two friends? Are you two really friends, or do you just collaborate together? And honestly, I would say that it started off as a little bit of a collaboration because I think I'm slightly damaged in that I struggle to connect with human beings on a friendship level. I think there's just something broken in me. But I think again, something that like the toy shop opened me up to is friendship. Like there was definitely someone there that I really wanted to be friends with, and obviously that didn't work out. But it made me think more about what a connection is. And I don't know if you picked up on this, but I'm like, I know some amazing people, but I'm just, unable to really try and focus on that aspect of things. So I've made a conscious effort this year to really start to go out of my way to spark up spontaneous conversations. And I would say we were more friends now than anything. Because this year especially, I'm like, I should message you about, good luck for your new job, good luck for this thing, good luck for that thing. How's that gone? So
Yeah,
yeah, maybe you've got a different answer, but
I'll say we're definitely our friends.
I'd say definitely more so
Yeah,
this year. Like this has
more
really
so
been
this
like,
year. Yeah, because I feel
yeah.
like we did start out doing the interviews and the podcasts, and I think we just gradually got well on together and
Mm.
improved our friendship. So yeah, I'll say we are
I mean, I
friends.
want to tot up how many hours we must have spoken like now, because it's like 50 episodes, but then I think there was like four scrapped episodes, obviously, the times before and after recordings, like, oh gosh.
Yeah, so I'll say we are definitely friends, especially messaging each other as well. It's like we do speak when we're not recording and that. We do
Yeah.
message each other. It's just that we don't meet up because we live so far away.